confidence building. Hi guys, my name is Loveridge and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach, and today we're going to be talking about confidence building. Usually when someone writes a comment on one of my videos, most of it is, I guess you could say, people that want someone else to like them back, and they want to ask them out and they don't know what to do. And basically, if this sounds like you and this is something that you struggle with, then you are probably also struggling with a lack of confidence, or at least in this area. Like, you might be very confident in your work and in your job, but you might not be very confident around the people that you are romantically interested in. Or it could be vice versa. I mean, you might be really confident with, the people that you're interested in romantically, but you might be not very confident in other areas, like perhaps you're not very confident in talking to people. So people like, let's say, your boss, you might feel very shy and insecure around certain people. So you might have struggles there, or you might feel, very unconfident in your job. So whatever it is that you are thinking that you don't have much confidence in, this will help you. So I will be using some generalized terms and scenarios in this, but basically the information that I give you, kind of transmute it into how it will work for you in your scenarios, in your personal life, and in the areas that you need confidence in. Okay, so one of the first points I want to get into is identifying the areas that you are not good at, or the areas that you're not confident in. You need to first become clear on what it is that you need to work on. So for example, for me, one of the things that I am personally trying to work on is I guess you could say inner peace around certain people, because most of the time when I'm interacting with people, I'm usually quite confident. I'm very confident around certain people, but then there's other people, especially those that I'm very close to and that know how to push my buttons. I wouldn't say not very confident around them, but I'm not very good at, shall we say, sticking up for myself, being able to rein in my ego, shall we say. So those are some things that's something I'm working on, that I need to work on, and that is this inner peace around those certain people that know how to push my buttons. And usually that's the way, the people that really push your buttons are the people that you're most closest to. So that's something that I am intending on working on, especially in this coming year, and that is by just being able to go inside myself and have inner peace and just let whatever person say whatever they want and not let it get a rise out of me, because that's what usually happens. So what are some things that you're not good at? Perhaps if you've come across my channel and you want to get better with girls, then perhaps, or guys, depending on what it is depending on who it is that you're interested in, then obviously that is something that you need to work on. But most importantly, get clear on the things that you're not good at. My next point is to also become better at the things you are good at. So if you have a particular field of study or field of career that you are doing and you have strengths in, then obviously keep on working on those strengths. Try and get a little bit better, and just try and get a little bit better every day with those things that you're already good at, because you don't want to neglect the things that you're good at while you're working on the things that you're not very good at. So how can you get better and more confident at the things that you're not good at? Obviously, repetition is a big one. If you're not good at something, just keep on doing it over and over and over again until you do get better. If you perhaps have some level of gaps in your knowledge about certain things, then maybe you need to read some books on the subject that you are struggling with and don't have confidence in, and maybe that will help. Perhaps you need to go on and get some actual experience in the thing that you're not good at. So for someone that's an actor, then obviously acting classes is something very practical that you could do if that's one of the areas you're not very confident in. If you are struggling with being able to be on stage in front of people, then obviously you need to get yourself on stage in front of people more in order to get confident and to get good at it. So basically, exposure is the best thing for you to do if it's something practical that you need to do in order to be confident. Obviously, if it's more psychological or it's just understanding, or you just have gaps in your knowledge, then books and articles is probably your best bet. But most of the time, what you're probably seeking is actually more experience, because people who are experienced are confident at those things, usually. Okay, so that's all you need. You just need to keep on repeating whatever it is that you are trying to get confidence in. So if it's talking to people that say you have bad social skills, then obviously you need to talk to a lot more people in order to get better at it. Now obviously this will really work well for someone who works at a big company, or for someone that is maybe a student at college or at school. There's people that you come into contact with every day that you can talk to, make conversations with, in order to get better at, being less socially awkward. So the next point I want to make is it might be a good idea if you actually find someone that you really admire and talk to them. Because by talking to someone that you admire, someone that you put on a pedestal, what you'll come to realize is that this person is actually just another human being like you. Because a lot of the time we go around feeling really insecure around certain people because we think that they are above us, like they have superior knowledge, or they have superior physical traits, they're better looking than us or whatever. But if you meet them and have a proper conversation with them, basically what it does is it levels the playing field. So you actually feel more on level with them. And what you come to realize if you get to know them is that they are just like you. And that in itself helps you feel more confident, because you're like, oh, I've got to know this person and they seemed really, really amazing and like kind of superhuman. But now that I've spoken to them, they also have insecurities. They also have things that they're worried about. They also don't have as much confidence in certain areas, just like myself. And that helps you feel more confident about yourself, because you realize that everyone in some area feels insecure about something somewhere. And that really helps. So the next thing that you can do, which is very practical to help build your confidence, is to go out of your comfort zone. So basically do something scary or do something that sucks at least once a day. So this could be going extra hard at the gym. It could be talking to someone who you're a bit afraid of. So someone like a boss, or just someone who you think is just superior to you. It could be doing just something different, something that is hard. So it could be like studying for an extra hour or half an hour. It could be doing something that you've wanted to do but never done before. So maybe for you it might be something like writing. Perhaps you want to write like a blog article, perhaps you want to write a blog post or something. Just do something today and every day that is a little bit brings you out of your comfort zone. So it could be something scary, or it could be obviously something scary but not dangerous. So it could be something scary, so something that you're not very comfortable doing, or it could be something that kind of sucks that you have to do anyway. But it could also be just paying extra attention to something. So let's say you kind of go through your day kind of doing what is necessary. So if you're working at a job and let's say you're doing just enough every day not to get fired, for one day, just try and work really hard. Just try and do your best. And that might help bring some confidence in those areas that you are hoping for, especially in your work. But the point is that you want to go past your comfort zone and do something that sucks. I actually wrote something down here. This might be someone else's words. I don't know, I just wrote it down. I might be remembering something someone else has said, which does happen. But it says narcissism is insecurity disguised as confidence. So basically someone that's a narcissist is basically displaying a fake confidence because actually they're really insecure. So my suggestion to you is to make sure that your confidence is actual confidence and not narcissism. So you're not putting on a mask, you're not putting on a bravado in order to come across as confident when actually you are really insecure. Now there's actually deep courage, which is another word, which I guess is confidence, right? In being able to be weak, in being able to admit your faults. And narcissists don't admit their faults. They don't admit that they have flaws, or at least they don't like to. And it usually only happens when someone else points it out. So if you are unconfident in an area, it's okay to say that to someone. So if your boss says to you, look, you got to do this today, you could say to them, instead of being like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do it perfectly because I'm great, you could just say to them, okay, I'll give it a go, but just to let you know, I'm not very confident at this, so, but I'm going to try my best. That's something that someone with courage actually says. It's admitting that you have flaws and that you have faults. So, for example, something that I did at the beginning of this video was I told you one of the things that I'm not confident at, and that is being able to remain calm when certain family members push my buttons. That's something that I struggle with, and being able to admit that And obviously saying that is a very vulnerable thing for me to actually do. But once you get in the habit of doing that and being able to show other people that you're human and that you don't have confidence in some areas and that you have flaws, that in a way it kind of frees you from having to live up to expectations and having to live up to your own expectations of trying to be perfect all the time, because you're human. You're not going to be perfect all the time, and it's okay to admit that, even if you are just admitting it to yourself, which helps you not become a narcissist and not let you put on, I guess you could say, like a fake mask. So yeah, don't be afraid to admit your faults. So the next thing I want to go into is self-respect, which isn't narcissism at all. Self-respect is basically standing up for yourself. So basically, I guess you could say this is like if you're being bullied and you know that whatever someone's saying to you isn't actually criticism, but is actually them trying to make you feel small, trying to belittle you in some way. It's good to stand up for yourself. So that's self-respect. Someone who doesn't have self-respect probably wouldn't stand up for themselves. Someone that does have self-respect would stand up for themselves, or at least leave the situation because they know whatever is being said to them or being said at them is wrong. So having that self-respect is very important. Also, respect your body by giving it the correct nutrients, by exercising it. Respect your appearance and your self-image. I recently made a video on self-image that I highly recommend that you go and watch, and that will really help with your self-respect, your self-image, and also with your self-confidence as well. And the last point I want to make is repetition. And I've already mentioned this in this video, but if you want to get good at something and you want to be confident in it, then you need to repeat it a lot in order to get the gains, right? Because you don't just go to the gym once and lift one dumbbell and expect to have, perfect biceps or whatever, or perfect forearms, whatever it is, right? You have to keep on going. You need to get the reps in. So again, public speaking is something that I mentioned before, and if you are struggling with getting on stage and speaking to people, and that's something that you need to get good at for whatever reason, so it could be you're an actor, or you just want to be someone that, does like Toastmasters or something, or just speaks to other people, gives talks, then you need to get yourself up on stage more often and talking more often. And you don't have to actually just, be on stage. I mean, you could actually, I guess you could say, make a presentation and then just practice it at home, and you can practice it in front of your family, but basically getting to know the material well enough in order to be able to give a speech on it and feel confident when you're giving that speech. So it doesn't have to be getting up on stage, but you do need to know what you're going to say, and you do need to know it well in case your mind goes a little bit blank while you're on stage. So repetition is very important. So obviously, when I say repetition, I mentioned public speaking, but whatever it is for you that you need to do, it might not be public speaking, use that method to get confident at it. You need to keep on repeating what it is that you need to get confident at. Anyway, I hope this video has helped you. And if you would like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com/shop. Or alternatively, you can use the email address provided in this video's description box. Just send me a quick email and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Please like, please subscribe, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye, guys.